Ikutsuki-san!
I guess? Why are you here?
That doesn't bode well.
She is here merely to fulfill her role as a weapon.
Huh?
Ikutsuki-san, what's this all about? You said the Dark Hour and Tartarus would disappear if we defeated the 12 Shadows. That's why we fought so hard. But now...
What is your intention? It was all a lie, wasn't it? You knew from the beginning that the Dark Hour wouldn't disappear.
Excellent deduction, Mitsuru. Unfortunately, your realization has come too late.
No. You tricked us?
Everything is as I planned. It is not unexpected that the Dark Hour and Tartarus remain. In fact, I never intended for you to rid the world of them. Quite the opposite, actually.
What do you mean?
The 12 Shadows were parts of a whole. They were destined to be reunited. And that was accomplished in no small part, thanks to your efforts. Soon, Death, the Almighty, shall arise and bring forth the fall.
And you went from 0 to crazy right quick.
Death?
What are you talking about?
The end of all shall come and free this world from despair. The death of everything, but also the beginning.
How are you even the same person? The same Ikutsuki who was off in his own room, by himself, coming up with dumb puns.
What is he saying? Is he out of his mind?
10 years ago, I too was a scientist for the project we've spoken of. The experiment went awry, but that is not why the Dark Hour and Tartarus were born. They manifested as a result of harvesting the Shadow's power, just as the experiment was designed to do.
So Tartarus and the Dark Hour were created on purpose.
That is why your grandfather gathered so many shadows, to bring about the fall.
So they knew the fall would come if they made the Dark Hour and Tartarus.
That can't be.
People have filled the world, yet turned it into a void. The only hope of salvation lies in ruin. According to the prophecy, the fall will be orchestrated by the prince. And once the prince has delivered us all, he shall rule the new world as king.
Let me guess, you want to be the prince.
The man who tried it 10 years ago failed, but I will not. I shall succeed.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like his plan.
Man, he's totally lost it!
I apologize for deceiving you, but this was for your sake as well. If you follow me for just a little while longer, you too will find salvation.
You call that salvation?
That's how you know a pretty genuine crazy. when they lead you on the entire time thinking one thing, knowing full well what you want is true, and then they turn around, completely flip everything up on its head, and expect you to just completely follow them. Like, oh, you mean the opposite of what we were trying to do before? That sounds like a good plan.
I have a question for you.
Yes?
In the video from my father, he said to defeat the shadows. Was that a lie too?
Ah, he did record that himself. Of course, I had to make some modifications.
You doctored it?
I corrected it. Your father was a superb scientist. He may not have known it, but I truly respected him. While others focused on the Shadow's abilities, he explored much more important things. But unfortunately, he could not comprehend the magnificent potential of the Fall.
What?
Why is it always the crazy ones that are dipping into the dark magic and the potential to destroy the world and crap? I mean, well, I guess that's part of the crazy.
He left that recording at the expense of his life.
It would seem so, but it did prove rather useful, so I'm sure he's happy.
So you were behind it all? You used both me and my father.
Used is such an ugly word. It was for the sake of the world, so how could it be wrong?
I can think of a couple ways.
Our role is to correct the mistakes of the past. And we intend to do just that.
Hey, wait.
Ah, how disappointing. I had hoped you would see the light.
So many crazy people just kind of expecting us to completely understand their crazy ideas when they give us very little information. Or are just flat out crazy. Like, what part of we want to save lives is so hard for these people to understand?
But you are just children after all. I suppose it can't be helped. Igus, the time has come for you to fulfill your role. Capture them and prepare them to be sacrificed.
Understood.
What is going on here? What the hell?
What is this?
Father!
Yakutski, what is the meaning of this?
It is just as it appears. They are to be sacrifices, harbingers of the fall. The arrangements are complete. The prophecy shall be fulfilled.
what?
You son of a bitch! I'm gonna rip your head off!
You traitor. Are you insane?
Of course not. You know your father was an unlucky man. Even you, his son, after all this time, do not understand his vision.
My father was wrong. Death is a deliverance. That is not an ideology anyone should ever embrace.
Fool! You are but a nuisance now. Igus!
Wait! Please, Igus, no!
What are you doing, Igus?
I am...
Ugh. 10 years! I've wasted 10 long years! I'm not like your father. I won't make any exceptions.
Father...
I guess we will end this. Execute the sacrifices now.
Damn it, snap out of it!
Finish them, Igus!
What the?
Damn it, you defective machine! I'll do it myself. What the?
Kurumaru!
You don't get it, do you? This useless, pathetic world will gradually fester over time. Only its destruction can bring about its salvation. And then, at long last, I will rule over the new world. I was so close.
How did it come to this?
One time, my father made a promise. He swore that he would atone for endangering our generation, even if it cost him his life. But I wanted him to live. I became a persona user to protect him.
course, from his illness. Wonder who fed the newspapers that line.
La vérité finit toujours par se découvrir. Chaque jour suffit sa peine. Chacun trouve chaussure à son pied.
I imagine we've got a lot to talk about.
Sans nourrir la raison. Nous
A
ferons
lot of thinking to do, a lot of figuring out to do.
The chairman's room has been cleared out.
No crap.
Well, that's no surprise, considering what he did.
I just can't believe all this.
It's in the papers, too. Sudden death of Kirijo's group CEO. They blame it on illness, though.
Yeah, it's never the truth.
Mitsuru-senpai's not here, huh?
She's an only child, so there's a lot of matters to be settled, including the funeral and the family business. I'm sure she'll be busy for at least a week.
That sounds rough. I hope she'll be okay.
So, what are we supposed to do now? What'll happen to Chidori?
No word yet. They're probably too busy to be thinking about that. In fact, the entire Kirijo group must be in a state of shock.
I hope Igus is all right.
What the hell? Am I just supposed to wait for them to get their act together?
Mitsuru is meeting with the board of directors, and that might explain the delay.
I see.
She's got family business to deal with. Why is she dealing with business? Though I suppose being the daughter of the CEO of a family-centric business, she is going to be important to what's going on now.
But still, what are we going to do?
That's a very good question.
We have no idea how to get rid of the Dark Hour. We don't even know what we're fighting against.
What was that he said about the fall? What would have happened if we'd been sacrificed?
It's actually a very good question, and I'm not really sure what killing everybody would have accomplished, aside from what would happen if the main character died. Which I won't say much on, but there's a reason it's instant game over if the main character dies.
There are so many unanswered questions.
Yeah, but standing around here won't solve anything, right?
Also, good point.
True. But there is one thing we know. Tartarus is still around, and there's a bunch of shadows inside it. We should train so we're ready for whatever it is we might have to face.
Yukari-chan. There were traces of a video on the chairman's hard drive. Most of it was deleted, but I was able to restore some of it. I thought you might like to see it. Thanks, Fuka. I'll watch it later.
We leave the meeting room, and this tragic night, this tragic past couple days, comes to a close. We've learned so far that killing all of the Arcana shadows up until now has actually been serving a much darker purpose. And it has assisted in bringing about the fall. Now, what exactly this fall is, we do not yet know. Though Ikutsuki did, before we lost him, as well as Mitsuru's father, and in turn, most information sources we may have had. Tartarus still exists, though, and I'm sure there's still some information in there to help us figure out and learn just why it is that Tartarus exists, and why the Dark Hour exists, and what we can do to help solve this problem. At the moment, we don't know anything, but all we can do is drive forward. We'll learn as we'll go, we'll learn as we go, and we'll solve this problem yet. The solution's just not what we thought it was.